Well, thanks again for joining me on the podcast here. As you know, so the innovation room where I talked to people from different industries, and we just talk about innovation in general.
Yeah.
Lately it's been more focused on AI since that's kind of like the giant elephant in the room, if you will. So today I'm happy to talk to you about insurance and
Sure.
some other things related to that and AI. To get started, if you wouldn't mind, we've spoken in the past, obviously,
We did,
we
yeah.
we know each other a little bit, but I really don't know your story. I'd love
Yeah.
to hear, you know, how you came up through and got to be CIO and now what you're up to now.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mike. I think, yes, we did meet and they interacted quite a few years back, right? So,
Hmm.
um, thank you again for giving me this opportunity. My name is Eshwar Pastapur. That's long E for people pronouncing my name. That's something, an advice I give. And it literally means God. It's like Jesus, right? That's
Really?
yeah, it literally means God. So if you hear a name like Ishwar, it means, yeah, God,
That's
Jesus.
some big shoes to fill.
I know. I am a tech strategist. If you ask me about my elevator speech, I'm a tech strategist, a former CIO, and I can talk about what did I do there. With over 30 years of experience, been leading. Right now, I started my own company called Symplyphy.ai. We can delve a little bit more deep into that. My superpower, if you ask me, is turning complexity into clarity.
Hmm.
There's so much going on. How do you take all that and then get some clarity? Whether it is simplifying technology, transforming legacy systems, which I've done many times, or now, which is the latest trend, is unlocking AI potential, especially in insurance world, right? So that is kind of what I'm working at. I'm always been driven by one goal, making innovation practical and powerful. So just to give you some background, I'm originally from India. I did all my studies back in India, but my goal coming to America was to realize American dream, which I think I have done. America has given me so much in the last few years. My first break was when I joined GE way back, maybe 20, 25 years back. And then I gradually continue to grow, climb the ladder up. I've been leading IT organizations, being a Six Sigma Black Belt, anything that you can think of. I think I've done it. So
When did
that
you
is,
first to come to the United States? What year was it?
oh wow, that was 1995, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 1995. That's the year I remember that was the year when I landed in Boston. Boston got the biggest number of snowfall that year.
Really?
So it was called Blizzard of 95, 96, I think. And the guy who comes from the hottest place in India, snow was a different kind of an experience. Like we can talk about that in length, but
Yeah,
it was a culture shock of some sort.
I'm sure. Yeah. Then you stayed in the upper Midwest, so then for the next 30 years, snow is kind of a
Yeah,
regular
yes.
thing.
Now we love snow. I mean, there are a lot of
Yeah.
things that we do with snow. And my goal is, yes, I landed in Boston, was spent about a couple of years in Boston, the East Coast area. And then finally, in about 1998-ish, I landed in Kansas City. And then once you land in the Midwest area, I don't think anybody would want to go anywhere near the coast or anywhere else, I should say,
Yeah.
because it's so different. It's so good. And so we've been Midwesterners, me and my wife, even my daughters now, they love Chicago. So we've become quite accustomed to Midwest area. And so we'll go definitely visit places, but our home is going to be somewhere in the Midwest.
Nice. So your kind of your first big break was at GE. What was your role there at GE?
Yeah, my big break was definitely one of the biggest breaks here in US was GE. I had a couple of friends in GE working, and they said, "Yeah, there is an opening for a project manager. Do you want to try it out?" And so, yeah, I applied and got selected, and it was a great experience. I tell you, it was GE Insurance Solutions. It was the reinsurance business, right?
Okay.
That's when I got introduced to insurance and whatnot. Um, but I mean, great company, learned a lot, right? So learned a lot about Six Sigma process and how to run a project effectively. All the things that are very much required to be in the corporate world. I was able to gain all that experience. I mean, people tell me I am politically savvy, right? So, meaning I used to take it with a negative connotation, but you think about it, what it literally kind of means is that you can read your audience and then accordingly cater to that, right? So,
Hmm.
those are this basic skill set that I needed. And my tenure in GE, I was able to gain that. But that was a really big break for me.
How long were you there?
About 6 years.
Hmm.
I joined about, I think, 2000, 2001,
Okay.
and left the company 2006. That's when GE sold off that business to Swiss Re. And then I got an opportunity in a smaller company, a much smaller company than GE, but a bigger role. And so I said, yeah, let me be a big fish in a small pond versus say the other way
Right.
around, right? So yeah, and then I was there leading their PNC business as the IT lead there. Was did that for about another 6 years or so, and then
PNC is property and casualty.
property and casualty
Yeah.
insurance. Thank you. I mean, insurance. I start throwing acronyms. Property and casualty. It's basically home, your auto insurance on the personal side, and then on the commercial side, it's workers' compensation and whatnot,
Hmm.
uh, general liability, and all the other insurance that come into play. It was mostly personal lines, so home and auto, and they had life and annuities as well. So I was leading the PNC side of it, property and casualty side of it. I did a lot of good things there. I was there for about 5, 6 years, and then joined a company called a different kind of insurance. It's voluntary benefits. It's not the PNC side. It's critical illness, disability insurance, and so it
Okay.
brings its own complexities. It still falls under the insurance umbrella, but it has its own complexity and things like that. So I was there for another 5, 6 years, did all the transformation I could, and then finally got a call, and I've been there for about 7.5 years. And
Hmm.
a tenure for CIO role is about 5 years, right?
Right.
So I stayed on a few more years, and then finally I said, yeah, I mean, there is something else I need to do, and came out and started my own company. So that is my story so far.
Nice. Nice. Are they property and are they PNC primarily, or what's their
Yeah, they're
focus?
PNC company primarily. The commercial lines is the primary lines. So
Okay.
uh, their main products are commercial auto and general liability and workers'
Okay.
compensation, things like that. And then personal side, of course, everybody has home and auto, right? So that's
Hmm.
something can go through.
And so what was it like to manage innovation or try and encourage innovation at a company like in their market?
Yeah, I think innovation in general, people think about big items, right? So they think about uh, some new gadget, shiny thing that has come into the market. I don't think if you look at companies, there are multiple ways to kind of handle the whole situation or get a perspective on innovation, right? So it is also continuous improvement. Anything
Hmm.
that you do in your normal day-to-day work, if you look at it and then leave it at a better place before you touched it, right, that is innovation as well. And then those smaller things will then lead to a much bigger kind of a newly process that is completely different, that helps your end customers, things like that. So that is one way to look at it. You will still have to do research and
Hmm.
figure out what is best for you. There is so much happening in the insurance industry right now, or in general in AI, right? So every day something new comes up. So the goal there is to continuously look at what is happening in that area, and try to bring those technologies and make sure that they stay relevant to what you are doing as a business. So that's kind of the mindset that any company will
Right.
have to kind of adhere to. Otherwise, you will be left behind.
Right. So kind of a balance, kind of pushing the envelope, but then also continuous improvement, making small improvements along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, if I remember correctly, probably 5 years ago, maybe more, you were looking at like a chatbot kind of technology
Yes.
back then, before really Gen AI was even a thing,
Absolutely.
which was somewhat, I would say, advanced, at the front of the curve for insurance, right? Like you, so I think you were kind of pushing the envelope a little bit with that kind of technology.
Yeah, if you look at my career, that's kind of exactly what I and then my team had been doing. I mean, even way back, we did a lot of things that came out later as big
Hmm.
data, right? So
Okay.
we were able to consolidate all on the customer kind of information, and then do things. And my team actually got an award for that. So we've been trying to kind of push the envelope, if you will, right? So in every way possible, in many different areas. I mean, so that is what is required of an IT leader,
Hmm.
as such, right? So you will have to find solutions that are out there, and then bring them into the company to make sure that we stay on top of such things. Otherwise, again, you will be way behind. Eight ball.
So, talking about that a little bit, did you have a team that explored, new things? You said research. Did you carve out budget? Did you have, or carve out a team in order to explore these things, or was it more or less, um, you know, something that you handled with with a few people?
It's a very tight balancing act. I mean, I don't think there are big companies who have dedicated teams that do that,
Hmm.
right? So there is no question about it. I mean, if you talk about all states and state farms and progressives, and they have a dedicated team. Their IT budget is actually the premium of a mid-sized company, right? So we other companies will don't have that luxury. So for me, I again, it was always a balancing act. You have to carve few things out here and there to do some sort of R&D, and then your sales job as a CIO would come into play and say, okay, here is a solution that works, and you want to kind of incorporate that into, and if you do that, here are the benefits and things like that. So um, well, for companies that the size of the companies I was working with, it was always kind of a balancing act, trying to figure out what works best. And while the people still are working on big projects, right, transformation projects that are important for the company, how do we also continue to incorporate such things and make it happen, right? So
Hmm.
I don't think I had a dedicated team as such, but we kind of did what we had to do to be up to date with the technology.
Right. So in certain industries, the smaller players sometimes are more agile, right? They can change quickly. They can create change more efficiently than, like a much larger player in the industry.
Right.
Find that in insurance, that when it came to innovation, or introducing that kind of transformation, was it easier, do you think, or harder in in the type of where you were in those companies?
Yeah, I think insurance companies in general are hesitant to change of any sort. Yes, they are companies that provide you financial support when it is needed most, but they are in a way risk averse and change averse, and that's why if you look at many insurance companies, they are lagging way behind from technology, and how now last 5 years or so, start 5 6 years, they've started incorporating many spending many millions of dollars to kind of bring their technology and also processes up to date. So that's kind of what is happening right now. So
Mhm.
they are targeting their core. What is also happening in the insurance industry is that there is a lot of innovation coming in. Forget about AI for a second. There is what is called as InsurTech revolution that is happening within insurance industry that is bringing in new carriers, for examples, right? So new carriers who do not have any baggage of any sort. When I say baggage, legacy systems, legacy processes, nothing of that sort. They're starting with a clean sheet of paper and standing up this new completely redesigned insurance products on their new system, new process, whatever it is. Like companies like Hippo, Lemonade, Pi, they've started from scratch and created this insurance products that do things differently.
Mhm.
What has that done is primarily set our customers experience and a level in customers experience, right? So even though these companies are not there from their combined ratio perspective, right? So they are not profitable yet, but they have introduced so much change that our customers, especially on the personal lines, are expecting other companies to follow suit, right? So um, quoting um, in personal lines, the thought process now is, why should I even give you any details? I can give you my address, go figure it out, and then give me a quote, right?
Mhm.
Versus asking questions such as, how is your roof? How old is your roof? Or what kind of roof? What kind of structure it is? All those things can be extracted from other sources. So why are you asking me all those questions? So that kind of mentality is coming through to these carriers. At the same time, other insurtechs are attacking some smaller problems that nobody has thought about for quite a bit, right? So
Mhm.
these problems, then they are trying to solve, and once you piece these solutions together, you get a completely new kind of a solution, right? So that is that revolution or that art process is heavily brought into insurance world. That is what is changing the whole insurance world. And now you can put AI on top of it, and then figure out what is.
So are you saying that these insure tech companies like Lemonade, are they disrupting the space, or are they just finding white space that is not being filled?
No, they are disrupting and also introducing new customer expectations. So
Hmm.
that, like I said, I mean, uh, customers are saying, why are you asking me those questions? I mean, can you not go get that information? I'll give you, for example, my VIN number. And then after that, I don't have to give you anything. You figure it out and then give me the quote in seconds. And
Right.
same applies with claims. I mean, I can give you all the photographs or whatever quickly and then get me a check. I mean, I don't have to wait weeks to get me a check, right? So that kind of third process is coming to our customers, and expectations are coming to carriers, primarily because companies like the ones that I mentioned, right? And one of the claims area, there is a lot of things that are happening very interesting in the claims. For example, when there was hail damage, what used to happen, right? So adjusters used to come to your home, climb up, look at look at a roof, and then make a calculation of some sort later on, and then get cut a check, right? Now, drones are there. Drones can
Drones.
take awesome photographs, and there are software that can decipher all of that and then say, okay, there are damages in these sites, these kind of damages, and produce a really accurate estimate, which then can translate into an immediate check or whatever, right? So
Right.
those kind of technologies have come in, and slowly, I think that is what is going to start changing, which has already started happening in the insurance world. So that is the effect of all these insurance tech companies.
So do you see these changes helping lower costs to consumers? I as a as a homeowner, and I have a couple cars here and all, for my family and kids. Um, I see costs still going up. I know my home insurance. We've been here 27 years, and it's almost doubled since
Yeah.
moved in here. So is it, do you see it continuing to grow, or how do you see the cost?
I'm not sure. Again, I'm not an expert in actuarial and all. The things that I've observed so far is that, let's take an example, right? So let's take an example of car, right? So car gets hit. What is happening is that the parts and the effort required to fix that car is going up as well, right? So the spare parts that you need to get are becoming costlier, right? So it's not, yes, there's technology being introduced, so you might get a check earlier, but again, the cost of fixing the car or uh, the roof, I don't think that is a correlation to the technology part of it, right? So there are ways. I mean, if you have to replace the roof, the roof costs of the roof is still going up because of other aspects that are in the play, right? Um, so technology is there helping expedite few
Process.
things, processes, and things like that, but is it going to reduce the cost of your premium? I'm not sure, and I'm not the expert in making
Right.
that call. But I can see what is happening is that the cost of labor, cost of the parts that are required are going up all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and that is making it feel like it's going to take more dollar amount to kind of fix it. And then, yes, of course, if there is a claim, you will start seeing an increased premium on your next premium, whatever, right? So that, I don't think that's going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And this whole tariff thing also with goods are probably going to have an impact on the replacement, like you said, the car parts and, different things different products that need to be used for repairs. I'm sure.
Absolutely. I think there could be a scarcity of parts or even cars, for example, for that matter, right? So that will introduce its own kind of uh, kink in the
Yeah.
whole situation, which would then again impact your the premiums and the cost of fixing things. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, well, okay. So that kind of leads me to the core of what, we want to talk about here is, considering all these changes happening and all these things going on, these new players coming in, how do you see AI impacting, various, if you want to talk about PNC or even other types of insurance in the market, how do you see it happening? How has it happened up to today over the past few years, considering what's changed in AI? And how do you see it going forward?
yeah. Here is one thing I have learned in last few months. Like I've been reading, I've been um, experimenting, I've been failing, I've been learning. I mean, a lot of things about AI because I wanted to. That was one area. If you look at my career, right? So I've done technology, I've done strategy. I've been in the insurance world for um, maybe 30 years now, right? And AI, I thought maybe I had some idea, but once I started getting into it, I actually learned a lot of things on how neural networks, for example, work and things like that, right? So what is happening so far in insurance industry, and I'm thinking that it's happening in other industries as well, is that people are still in the mode, people, carriers in companies or whoever, are still in the mode of, well, POCs. Let's do some POCs and here and there, test it out. But what has also happened is this AI, these large language models, these machine learning space and whatnot. The new term that has come up right now is model context protocol, right? So things like that have come up, have introduced so many solutions. Just to give you an example, right? So in future, pretty soon, there is an IT organization in every company, right? So there is a group of developers who can do a lot of things and all that. They know different languages. But you can right now, with all the tools that are available, give specific instructions and it will write code for you. I've done it. I mean,
Mhm.
I was able to experiment and then create some of the applications, real world applications, right? If that is the extent these AIs are bringing in, you can imagine what impact AI would have in insurance industry as well as other industries. So my take here is that gone are the days of experimenting, doing POCs. Now is the time to start with your strategy, incorporate wherever AI is required to grow your business and
Mhm.
make it part of your DNA. Otherwise, what is going to happen is, again, insurance industry in general will be left behind and you will continue to struggle to get to where, where other industries are always. So this is the time to stop all POCs and say, this is my strategy. How do I incorporate and make the AI part of our DNA going forward? That is
Yes.
what is going to change in next. I mean, it's happening already in many industries.
So I saw two quotes this morning from, I want to say it was Zuckerberg and then another CEO saying that within 12 months,
Yeah.
almost all code will be written by AI agents. Um, and I've used it as well as the AI coding agents, and it is seemingly a miracle, especially if you've been in technology like we have over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quite amazing. Although I would say that um, knowing software architecture
Yeah.
really, really helps. You know, it's not like you can pull someone off the street and have them build the next Facebook with a prompt. But you can definitely create something, and but you need to have that team that understands the architecture, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, I I agree with you. I think that that is probably going to be one of the biggest areas that we see AI make make an impact in all industries is how it's going to create more efficiency in the IT world. You know, even if it reduces, you know, defects and it can you can apply it, deploy it to just do code defect of existing code.
Yeah. Yeah. There are so many things that you can do. That's the reason why I'm saying you will have to think through and make it part of your strategy, right? And when I say strategy, it's not just business strategy. Yes, business strategy, you start from there. And then you get to the places where all can I incorporate these new tools, these new agentic AI tools that are kind of revolutionizing everything that we do. I mean, we can start small, probably like you said in fixing the bugs because they are good at it. I mean, if you give them specific task and requirements, they going to go dig in and then create it for you or fix it for you, right? And in soon, I like you said, in about an year or so, I see that happening already, where you give them specific requirements, it will create the application for you. You don't need a expertise in Python or C or C++ or whatever. You tell the engine what language you want, it's going to create it for you.
Yeah, it's I agree. I think that's definitely going to be a revolution that we're gonna be right in the middle of. Um, so do you, you know, on that, do you see companies like that you've been to, and you said, do you see them, the leadership leaning into that and making decisions to say, okay, let's deploy this, let's make this happen.
I think there is definitely a change in thought process, right? I think most of the time, especially insurance companies, were focusing on core. I see that changing to figuring out what is important for our customers, right? So customers being agents,
Hmm.
then policyholders. What is important for them? How do we make their experience much more seamless? How do we simplify their experience, right? So those are the things that the business problems that they are trying to solve. What are the new products and how fast can I get that product out, right? So what changes are necessary? Gone are the days where they were focusing months and years together on fixing the core, right? So we don't have that luxury anymore. You will have to be, I mean, within a day, within a week, you will have to deploy something. And um, that thought process, Mike, has started coming in and I've noticed that
Mhm.
because fixing code, yeah, we definitely might have to do it, but there are different ways to do it versus taking months and years together and spending millions of dollars, right? So I already started seeing things that companies have started looking at AI. How do we make it a part of our DNA and things like that? I'm hoping that there would be more acceptance
Mhm.
of that kind of a mindset going forward because they know now, right, how way behind they were, insurance carriers were when they didn't focus on fixing their legacy processes, legacy systems. So there is change in mindset, but I hope it takes firm footing and then starts growing soon. Yeah.
Right. And so we've been kind of talking about the carrier side of this equation a lot. You mentioned agents, which thank you for that. Uh, I don't work in the insurance industry, so I'm still trying to piece together the landscape
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that whole thing. So how do you see agents are typically smaller organizations, mom and pop type of shops that really don't deploy a lot of technology, right? I mean, or very simplified, I'm guessing. I don't know. Um, do you see that maybe Gen AI or some of these AI tools can help out agents?
Yeah. So thank you for highlighting agencies, right? So that is the key aspect of any insurance carriers, and insurance in general is still a relationship business, right? So any sort of AI or automation, you will not replace that. It's going to be still a relationship business, I feel, for foreseeable future, right? So, and then agents are integral part of it.
Hmm.
Um, what is also happening in agencies? If you look at insurance carrier, right? So there is insurance company who creates the products, offers services and whatnot, and those were sold. Those services and products are sold by insurance agencies to our end customers who are our policyholders. That's kind of the high level process. And if a claim happens or whatever, the policyholders first usually go to the agents because they have a personal relationship with them, and then companies get involved to solve and cut a check or what. Right? So that's kind of the whole process there. So insurance agents are integral part of this whole ecosystem. Having said that, insurance agents, there are many of those what you call the mom and pop shops, right? But what is also happening in the insurance agency distribution world is a lot of consolidation. There are many big players that have come in, some backed by private equity and whatnot, and they are acquiring a lot of insurance company and making it part of their brokerage firm, right? So we have, for example, here in Grand Rapids, we have Acrisure coming in, and they are acquiring and consolidating many insurance companies. So when bigger insurance agencies acquire, the expectations from the carrier side and the interactions with the carrier side definitely changes. Now you're not part of a mom and pop. Now
Hmm.
you have to interact with a big organization and they have different expectations, right? But technical process and whatnot, you will have to then cater to their needs as well as mom and pop's needs. So um, and so how AI is going to change all of that is definitely, I think, for insurance agents, smaller insurance agencies, there are ways to expedite many things that they can do, right? So there could be a place where they can work as a kind of a starting point, a chat box kind of a solution where um, that can help things out. But for bigger companies, it's again, what do they want to do? And then how do they want to interact with the carrier? I think that is a much more complex and a different solution versus AI can still be incorporated with smaller agencies to some extent. Yeah.
Do you think that from the consumer side, do you think that um, I would just speak from my own experience. But it's not, I'm not really a great example because I'd rather talk to an automated chat because I know how to get through that really quickly
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
trying to explain my problem to a person. Sometimes it's more, but my point is, do you think consumers are going to want their agencies that they deal with, like your State Farm agent or whatever, to um, to be more automated and more agentic AI, not replacing those people, but those interactions to file a claim, to ask questions. Do you see that being more automated or still more of that relationship, as you said?
So again, PNC, property and casualty, right? So it has two separate um, um, thought process and the customer basis to deal with. So just to give you some example, personal lines, yes, I agree with you. I think personal lines, people like you and in some cases me as well. I don't want to talk to people. I want to go online, figure out, and then get a quote and switch companies. And then if a claim happens, I'm going to have it take photographs. I'll get done with it, right? So I don't have to deal on the personal side. That is the expectation.
Yeah,
The commercial side of it, where you are insuring a business, right? The products are much more complex. Workers' compensation, right? So if you have to file a claim for workers' compensation, a person who was working on fixing something fell down and something happened, right? So those are much complex kind of claims that definitely need some sort of manual intervention. And so I'm talking about those kind of situations where it is still more relationship based, right? So you still are going to call agents. You're going to still contact somebody in the carrier side and have a claims adjuster or somebody who can help you through all the minutia and complexities involved in filing a claim and things like that. So that time,
right.
I think that will continue to happen because these are not simple products, right? So there are so many intricacies involved in the contractual language and whatnot. We'll have to make sure it is filed right so that things can be expedited and forward, so that they can get a check as quickly as possible. So there is some manual intervention required. Personal side, no question about it.
Talking about the ROI on artificial intelligence, I
Yeah,
think that's one of the things that a lot of the time I've spent over the last 5+ years when I'm
yeah,
having conversations about AI projects is, um, how much should I be spending as a buyer, putting in AI, any sort of workflow or experiment wherever, and how do I measure ROI for this widget, this idea, this thing that I have? Um, it seems still, in my opinion, it still seems a little bit fuzzy because of the cost of, like an LLM and running it, your tokens, if you will, in and out. And some things are going to cost $1 per conversation. Some things are going to cost fraction of a penny per conversation. How would you position or think through ROI for this sort of technology, this sort of innovation?
yeah. I think that ROI conversation is already there. Take AI out, right? So in any company, when they have to justify any sort of investment, either project or otherwise, there is an ROI calculation that needs to happen. I've seen many places the ROI calculation is mostly a namesake, right? So they do the calculation and then keep it aside, meaning benefits were not realized, right? So and and companies don't worry about it. That process is still there. I think people have to continue to strengthen that. My thought process is AI is here. AI is going to stay, and AI is changing and will change your world. It will move your cheese, right? It has started moving your cheese. So instead of questioning why it is here and how we can make best use of it, start with your strategy. What do you want to do going forward next 3, 5, 10 years, and start incorporating things that make sense for you now about AI in general, into every aspect of your business, which could be that deploying a chatbot here or deploying something that would help underwriters expedite the quoting process, right?
Hmm.
Simplifying the whole submission intake process for commercial side, which is a convoluted process, right? It takes weeks, if not days, to get you just a quote, right?
Hmm.
So why can't we deploy something that could streamline all of that and then give a quote maybe in less than a week, right? Things like that. So start incorporating those things and keep your ROI calculations as is or change them as per what is needed. But I don't think the question should be that why AI is necessary. AI is there. It is
Yeah.
what it is, and it can deliver value. You would have to find value in your organization, make it part of your DNA. So that is my thought process. And I think companies will start realizing that soon, if not already, that
Right.
should be the case. Yeah,
And so we're seeing that there's a lot of industries, even the United States government, that are bringing on chief AI officers. And
absolutely.
I think they have 100 plus, and just in the government that they're trying to get hired. And that new title that's uh, been thrown around quite a bit over the last 6 months, mainly. Do you see that as a real thing? Do you see that happening in insurance companies or in that industry, or how do you think that
I
role
think
plays out?
I think you will start seeing more and more of chief AI officer. That's a really good trend. And the world of chief information officer is going to start changing and
Yeah,
has already started changing, right? So, like I said, coding is going to become I won't say unnecessary, but would be done by agentic AI or somebody else with a prompt and or whatnot. You don't need a developers, high cost developers to do that, right? So that's already changing. What is also most important that I like the most is incorporating AI into elementary curriculum, right?
right.
So that is very important because when you start training people, kids coming out of elementary school and continue that education moving forward, that will help create a generation of people who are very well versed with AI. And you don't have to depend on any other country or place. And so that is a very important trend that I really like it because that is kind of helping people to think, okay, yeah, now this is what it is going forward. We have to learn about it, otherwise we will be left way behind. So that
Right.
is, I feel, is the most important thing I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, where it has now become part of our elementary school curriculum, right? So
Sure.
that's very important. And
So
you can see that. Sorry, one more thought there.
okay.
Mike. You can see that happening. For example, I said I came from India, right? India education is very important. Every parent, if you ask in Indian parent, they push their kids is what we hear, but they make sure that their kids are well educated, and that has introduced a level. When you look at Indian people, Indian immigrants, a different. You look at it from a different point of view, right? So that is what is going to happen when kids start coming out with AI degrees and whatnot, and chief AI officer. It's going to stay forever, or at least for foreseeable future. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with you there. So let me ask you a few last questions here. And one that's probably an unpopular question as far as how is AI going to in insurance, as far as you can tell, impact hiring and jobs and people's roles? Are they going to, do you see it replacing um, people? They're going to have a less, a lower employment rate in the insurance industry?
I don't think so. I think if you look at insurance industry, right? So there is um, there are many different job um, um, requirements, right? So you have underwriters, you have claims, you have billing, you have IT, and whatnot, right? So HR, of course, is still there. Looking at a career in general, um, their the way they do the job is going to definitely change. There's no question about it. Why do an underwriter, for example, needs to look at the risk they're taking in detail? if there is an agentic AI working with them, right? And analyzing everything that they need to about a business they're about to quote, and then let them know that, look, here are the few things you might want to pay attention to. And
Hmm.
you just look them over and say, yeah, that looks good, and then move forward. Versus now they have to take, there is no other way out. They have to take weeks to look at different data set and analyze it and do all that, right? So there are different ways to do business. That will definitely change. Same applies with claims. Same applies with IT, for example, right? The things that we
Hmm.
just talked about. So you might have to retool, relearn, like I'm doing right now, right? So I'm retooling myself. I had to unlearn everything that I did to, again, learn things in a new way, right? So I think everything, every area within the career is definitely have to look at what needs to be changed and accordingly incorporate those changes into their organization. I don't think there is going to be a big impact on people as such. What I will say is that going forward, you will have to start thinking about AI, incorporating that into, like I said, into your DNA, and then educating, training people in those specific areas so that they can retool themselves and set them up
Yeah,
for a future. Yeah.
right. So that kind of leads me to the last point here. So you mentioned that you have your own consulting firm now. Again, tell me the name.
Symplyphy.ai, Symplyphy.ai.
Simplify.ai.
Yes.
Yes. So what is your mission there with Simplify? If you want to give a plug out to what that's
Thank
all
you.
about.
Thank you. Thank you. So my thought process there in Symplyphy.ai when I started the company was I have expertise in technology, right? So I'm a technologies by trade. I have done strategy, right? So I've done helped CEOs, bosses, and all, and led the strategy sessions. I know insurance. I've been in this insurance world, except health insurance. Right? So it's totally different ball game. I've done all sorts of insurance except health insurance. So, and then now in last few months, I've been delving deep into AI and figuring out what it is all, how it actually works and how it can be used and monetized, right? So I bring in technology, strategy, insurance, and AI combination, which I feel is unique. And so my goal is to kind of help insurance companies in general. But if there is any other company that want to talk to me or any other person want to talk to me, I'm open for conversation wherein I can come in and help them simplify and incorporate AI and create a roadmap of some sort um, from the top, from the strategy all the way down to execution. So that is kind of my goal. Again, thank you for giving me this
Nice.
opportunity to be part of this discussion.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, I'll definitely include that in the show notes as far as the link to the website and
Thank you.
the the consulting service you offer there. But Ishwar, thank you for joining me today. This was really interesting discussion, and I learned a lot. Um, is there any other points that you want to talk to?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. This is a great discussion, Mike. I always love having these conversations with you specifically. And yeah, I'm there. If you want to have a quick conversations, always reach out to me on LinkedIn and we can continue the conversation there. Thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, I think that's a wrap then.